All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. Once again, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining today's Energy Tech University Prize informational webinar. My name is Jackie Petrie. I work at the National Renewable Energy Lab on the Energy Tech UP team. Before we get started today, just going to cover a couple very quick housekeeping items. You have a couple options for connecting to audio, so if at any point you need to change that, you can navigate to the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, finding your audio options and changing things there. This is also a reminder to all of our panelists, if you can please remain muted during today's presentation until it's your time to speak. We would appreciate it. If you have a question at any point during today's presentation, feel free to enter that in the Q&A tab. We ask that you submit all questions there instead of through the chat, just so we can keep track of everything. And we'll do our best to get to as many questions as possible. And lastly, we will be making a recording of today's presentation as well as a copy of the slides available on HeroX in the coming days. Today's agenda, we're going to do a very quick intro to Energy Tech UP for anybody who's just learning about this program for the first time. We'll have a quick welcome from our guest speaker from the Office of Technology Transitions. We'll talk a little bit about the student track and bonus prizes that are available. We'll dive into the regional events and hear some perspectives from our regional convener and a guest speaker. High level, we'll talk about the faculty track and next steps before getting to questions. And with that, I am going to hand things over to Joe Simon, who is the Prize Administrator of the Energy Tech University Prize.
Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today for our third informational webinar associated with the Energy Tech University Prize. You may already know this, but at its highest level, this is a program that tasks student teams to craft and present a business plan using national laboratory developed or other high potential energy technologies. So it really is about the quality of the plan that they present. So looking forward to all the students who are interested in exploring this space and submitting their ideas. And then new this year, we're also excited to provide some prize funding and support for faculty who are seeking to incorporate or expand energy technology commercialization and entrepreneurship topics into their institution's educational activities. So very far-reaching, but looking forward to your ideas about how you could focus or grow your focus on these topics in your institution. So looking forward to sharing a bit more about your programs there. So the goals here, so the reason the Department of Energy funds this activity is really to grow a bigger tent, to get more people engaged, collaborating, and exciting about the potential for energy technology commercialization and the energy industry as a whole. So growing relationships with new colleges, new universities across the national labs and across industry. We want to show the ideas that are generated by students and faculty and show the possibilities. And when possible, we also want to see that increasing commercialization of those technologies, whether that's something that was developed by the students or by faculty at your own institution, or commercializing a technology developed at a national lab. Overall, we really want to support and improve energy technology education at institutions across the entire U.S. This may be at community colleges, this may be at state schools, it may be at those recognized to almost everyone and everyone in between. We're really looking forward to building that tent bigger and enabling as many people as possible to participate and take another step on their journey to a career or impact in this industry overall. So this is a program that is designed such that it is meant that anyone can participate successfully. We do want to see ideas from any and all students and any and all backgrounds. So the winners are chosen based on the work you do for this program, not based on your prior success, based on your resume, based on your connections, or anything else like that. It really is focused on the quality of the plan to commercialize a particular energy technology that you identify. You don't have to control that IP. You can really focus on what you learn, how you present it, and what that opportunity might look like. We're also supported by 15 different conveners that enable any school from any region to have a pathway to the national event and to be able to present to judges that understand their region's concerns, questions, and opportunities while hearing from other student presenters about their ideas, really sparking conversations and sparking opportunities for participation in the future. We continue to prioritize our outreach to those who we don't already know. So while those we have relationships with are of course welcome to participate, we also hope that many of you are participating or hearing from us and the Department of Energy for the first time. We do want you here. We will provide training, we will provide resources, and we do welcome you to participate in this program overall. Note that we'll provide more details later, but this is a program where the initial events are all virtual. There's no need to travel, there's no need to spend money up front, and you don't have to control of your IP or have an LLC or business already formed. This is about the quality of the plan that you present, whether as faculty, this is an implementation plan, or as students, your theoretical business plan for the energy technology being presented. In total, this is designed to be a low barrier to entry, a first step. You may be able to follow up your participation in this program with participation in other pitch competitions or startup competitions, be able to secure your IP, be able to pursue an internship or a degree in the program. For students, you can register with just a 200-word summary of the technology to be leveraged in the business opportunity. You can continue to present that idea and evaluate it over the course of about a month. You submit on February 1st, and you present at the end of the month. So it's not a huge amount of time. You can do it extracurricularly, you can do it as part of a course, or you could do it as part of some other effort, like a capstone project that you're doing while in your degree program. For faculty, the initial submission on January 5th is really about you and your interests, and then the implementation plan comes later in April. For you, there are no travel and no live presentations, so we hope that it fits your schedule and your set of constraints. We'll share more information overall, but we do want to share, on the next slide please, that this is a program where anyone from any institution is welcome and invited and encouraged to compete. We do hope that you'll provide more interest, and if you have others in your organization that you think would be interested, please convey that information to others as well. Those who have participated in this program in the past have found new jobs. They've raised more money. They've secured their IP. They've incorporated as a business. They've actually secured SBIR funding, being accepted into fellows of high-profile accelerators. They went on to partner with national labs. They won follow-on pitch competitions or pursued other higher education programs. In this program, we count our success based on the impact on the individual competitors. While it would be great for that company to raise more money, and we'll always be proud of that company raising more money that maybe a team presented, it really is about the students participating. That company may or may not continue into the future, but if we can impact the pathway of the faculty or the students who participate in this program, we're very excited about our success and our impact on the industry. To share a little bit more about the program and the funding from the Department of Energy, I'll turn things over next to my colleague, Edward, with the Office of Technology Transitions. Edward?
Thank you, Joe, and good afternoon to everyone calling from all over the country. My name is Edward Rios. I am a commercialization executive at the Office of Technology Transitions, and also have the honor of being the program manager for EnergyTech UP. I joined earlier this year and had the privilege of attending our national competition. And one thing I can say about it is the energy that emanates from all the students and faculty that were there. It was such a wonderful time with such positivity, and I hope to continue that this year with this next edition of EnergyTech UP in 2024. And specifically, I wanted to give just a background on why this is so important to the Office of Technology Transitions. Our mission here at OTT is to commercialize technology, specifically to commercialize technology that comes out of our national laboratories. But secondarily, we do want to make sure that our young people are being trained in commercialization. This is an endeavor that is very important to us in our work. And so this program really does an excellent job of doing that as well. So commercialization, I always say, is so important simply because if a technology can't get to the market, it's not going to help anybody. And so I encourage all of you that are thinking about applying, please do so. This prize is a very low barrier to entry. It is designed for those individuals and those entities that may not have had a long relationship with the department. This is a great way to get your foot in the door. And really, more specifically, I want to encourage the faculty. This is our first year for our faculty track. We want to continue doing our faculty track, and we hope to have lots of interest from all the faculty that have a special place for commercialization and entrepreneurship. We want to reward you for those efforts. So again, I look forward to working on this and hopefully seeing some of you in the near future, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much, Edward. I'll spend a few minutes talking about our student track and then turn things over to a few of our colleagues to share more details about how you're going to be able to participate and our regional Explore events that are planned for 2024. So at its highest level, a reminder that we really want you to gain the experience presenting, to having Q&A sessions with industry judges, and to being able to hear other teams present their ideas. We think that there's an immense amount of value in the actual effort itself that it will take for you to present live to these judges and to hear from others. And so we've designed this program to enable up to 225 different teams to be able to present live by partnering with 15 different regional conveners to host a regional Explore event. While we could have a paper-based submission process, we think that this live experience is extremely valuable, and we've heard that from our competitors in the past. So we're excited to enable so many to present at the end of February of 2024. This is an overview of the structure. I encourage all of you to read the rules to fully understand the details, but the important things for you to recognize is that as a student looking to compete in this program, you have to submit a 200-word summary of a technology to be leveraged and what you believe to be the business opportunity by February 1st, 2024. We'll review all applications received and choose about 225 teams to be able to present to judges on February 27th, 28th, or 29th as part of that Explore phase. For all teams who are accepted, you'll receive resources such as Energy I-Core training materials, some guiding documentation, as well as some prior resources that are available to help you succeed. You can spend those 3 to 4 weeks developing your idea before presenting it as part of these regional events. At these regional events, we will identify finalists for all 15 regions, as well as several technology and topic area bonus prizes, such as all undergraduate teams, those teams that leverage technology from a national lab, as well as those focused on things like hydrogen or water or solar or wind. We look forward to seeing your ideas. Up to 28 teams will be invited to the refine and pitch phases, who will then be provided more mentorship, guidance, and support before presenting live to judges at the Energy Thought Summit in Austin, Texas on April 15th, 2024. We have over $400,000 of prizes available to students and look forward to providing that support to many student teams and hoping to see impact on them for the years to come. This year, for 2024, we're excited to be working and an expectation of having about 15 regions from across the U.S. The exact distribution and structure will depend on the applications received, but we expect there to be about 12 to 15 teams per region, 3 to 5 industry judges per region, though sometimes there are more, and then we will host 3 different Explore event dates, where 5 regions will occur on each of these days. This will enable you to see the overall guest speakers, organizations, and networking associated with 5 different regions, but will break out into smaller groups. So all of our East regions will occur on February 27th, all of our Central regions will occur on February 28th, and all of our West regions will occur on February 29th. The exact time will be based on the number of applications received, but we look forward to seeing your presentations. So to set expectations about these regional Explore events, they will be about 3 hours in length and will begin about 1 or 2 p.m. in the time zone indicated for your region. The exact time will be determined based on your applications. We will provide each team the opportunity of 5 minutes to pitch and 3 minutes of Q&A with industry judges. Note that only students may present to judges, and there must be at least one student presenting live. We will provide some speakers and discussion or networking while our judges deliberate. We will ask for some feedback from students, and then we will announce winners or the finalists from each region that evening. You should expect to share your screen when presenting, and we do encourage you to join the entire event. Prior feedback from our students and faculty have indicated high value associated with seeing those other presentations. Even if you don't end up being selected as a regional finalist or as a technology bonus prize finalist, we've heard from many competitors that just participating, presenting, engaging with judges, learning about resources, and seeing each other's ideas helped inspire and connect them for future opportunities. To indicate how this works graphically, this is from 2023. We similarly had about 15 regions, and we had 184 teams present. They were spread all across the country, including Alaska, Hawaii, 3 US territories, DC, and almost every state. We found that these student teams are able to present challenges or interests that are relevant to their region and be able to get feedback from judges in a way that is actionable and interesting. We expect a similar distribution for 2024, though hopefully, or wouldn't it be nice if there was at least one team from every state and territory in the US. I'll turn things over now to my colleague Brittany to talk a bit more about the Regional Explore events and our partnerships associated with this cycle.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, my name is Brittany Speedles. I'm from the NREL EnergyTech UP team, and I'll be going into some more details about the Regional Explore events and what to expect. Next slide, please. So Joe outlined a little bit of this, but for our expectations, we expect around 180 to 225 teams made up of 600 plus students and from 125 plus different schools. And our goal is to have every state and territory and DC represented. Our students, competitors can come from a variety of different degree types and also can participate through different avenues. So as part of a class, independently, a club, or a capstone project. Next slide, please. So students benefit from pitching, watching, and networking. So these are just some snapshots of students presenting in years past in the regional competition. As Joe mentioned, the regional competitions will be virtual, and so they'll be hosted by a regional convener from each region. Next slide. The regional events will also consist of different industry judges who will provide you with feedback and offer valuable connections to their different companies. Next slide, please. Here are some outlines of how we will determine the regional finalists, or how the judge will determine regional finalists. The regional winners will win $3,000 each, and they'll be invited to the next phases of the competition, so the refine and pitch phases. And there will be one regional finalist from each region, as well as an undergraduate finalist and a National Lab IP licensing finalist from each region. And the pitches will be about 5 minutes with a 3-minute Q&A. For the bonus prizes, there will be technology bonus prizes from, I think we're up to 9 technology offices through the Department of Energy. And so those similarly those finalists will win $3,000 each and be invited to the next phases of the competition as well. And up to one finalist per region in each technology category can be identified. Next slide. And here's a list of our 2024 regional conveners so far. Our regional Explore events will take place on February 27th, 28th, and 29th, and they'll be separated by regions of the country. So the 27th will be the East regions, and then 28th Central, and 29th will be West. So there will be 5 events per day. And next, in the next few slides, I'll go into some details about each of the regional conveners. So the first convener is the Rice Alliance, which is through Rice University. The Rice Alliance is Rice University's nationally recognized initiative devoted to the support of technology commercialization, entrepreneurship, education, and the launch of technology companies. And their mission is to support the creation and success of startups and the commercialization of new technologies in the Houston community and beyond. And just to note, I'll be going through these slides pretty quickly, but they'll be available after this webinar as well. So next slide, please. The next regional convener is Evergreen Climate Innovations, which is a Chicago-based nonprofit that delivers positive climate impact and inclusive opportunity by helping high potential climate tech startups from the greater Midwest to succeed. Next slide, please. Next, we have Grid Catalyst, which is a clean energy and clean tech accelerator, providing pilot opportunities for startups and seeking solutions to northern climate challenges. Next slide. So the next is University of Kentucky, and the University of Kentucky Center for Applied Energy Research has served as one of the nation's premier energy research and development institutes, collaborating with companies and government agencies to help maximize Kentucky's and the nation's energy resources. Next, we have Circular Venture Lab. Based in Evansville, Indiana, Circular Venture Lab works with industry, academia, and new business ventures in better understanding the nexus of energy and circular economy technologies. The next one is the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurship in Atlanta. RICE is an economic mobility engine for the community, driving RICE stakeholder and small business owners to innovate, grow, create jobs, and build wealth. And they house 50,000 square feet of convening, meeting, and innovation spaces. Next slide. The next convener is Florida High Tech Corridor. And the 23 county region that defines the corridor is anchored by 3 of the country's largest resource institutions, which are the University of Central Florida, the University of South Florida, and the University of Florida. Powered by an ethos of collaboration, the corridor aligns opportunities and resources in academia, industry, and economic development to unleash the region's exponential potential. The Wilton E. Scott for Energy Innovation at Carnegie Mellon seeks to encourage the development of breakthrough technologies that will accelerate the transition to a sustainable, low carbon energy future. And then Clean Tech Open Northeast is the Northeast region of Clean Tech Open and is managed by NECEC as the on-the-ground affiliate. Clean Tech Open is the world's oldest and largest clean tech accelerator and is dedicated to providing early stage entrepreneurs and technologists with the resources needed to launch a successful clean tech company. And we'll hear more from Beth Sonis later in this presentation. The Research Triangle Clean Tech Cluster accelerates the growth and leadership of the clean tech economy, leveraging the unique concentration of industry, academic, and government leaders in the Research Triangle to create benefits through innovation, deployment, and talent. Next slide. And Cleantech San Diego and UC San Diego are partnering as conveners, and both are accelerating clean technology innovation and promoting the equitable deployment of sustainable solutions across the San Diego region for the benefit of the economy, the environment, and all members of the community. The University of Arizona Center for Innovation is located in Tucson, Arizona, and is part of Tech Parks Arizona, which is a research and science park. It was launched in 2003 and is distinguished as one of Arizona's leading incubation organizations and the largest continuously running incubator in the state. And UACI is proud of its direct service to more than 200 companies, impact on thousands of entrepreneurs, and leadership in building Arizona's innovation ecosystem and beyond. The Clean Energy Institute at the University of Washington, their mission is to accelerate the adoption of a scalable and equitable clean energy future that will improve the health and economy of our state, nation, and world. And to accomplish this, they support the advancement of next generation technologies. The Colorado School of Mines is a public R1 research university focused on applied science and engineering. They are a STEM-focused university producing talent, knowledge, and solutions for industry and society. Oh, and sorry, on the last slide, I forgot to mention Y Ranch is also supporting with the Colorado School of Mines in the Mountain West region. And then finally, the NREL Alaska campus, which will be providing support for the non-contiguous US as integrating scientific research and cultural knowledge to unleash sustainable, equitable energy, building and mobility technologies with an emphasis on rural, remote, and islanded communities in some of the most extreme and challenging regions of the world. And so those are some of your conveners. The main contacts are provided in the slides. So we encourage you to reach out to them and get to know your conveners of the region that you'll be participating in. And at the national pitch event, this is the event that will be in person. It's going to be April 15th at the Energy Thought Summit Conference. And the finalists, as mentioned in prior slides from the regional events, will present and compete for bonus and national prizes at this event. And then as well as your $3,000, which could cover the travel costs for this, you'll have free access to the entire Energy Thought Summit. Yeah, and so now I'll turn it over to Hannah, who will talk more about the specific prizes that you can win.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah Pauling, one of the prize administrators here at NREL. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the different prizes that are available this year. Up to 28 different teams can win a share of $450,000 in prizes. And these prizes are awarded for your work in this competition. They don't come with any IP or ownership transfer, no further obligations, and no reporting requirements. They are simply an award for work you have already done. Next slide, please. This table summarizes the different prizes that are available. We will have up to 15. Wait, I'm getting a pop-up. Okay. We can have up to 15 different regional finalists and up to 13 bonus prize finalists. Both categories will win $3,000 per team. Our first, second, and third place prizes are $50,000, $20,000, and $10,000. And we also have a number of bonus prizes available, both for technology, national lab IP licensing, and undergraduate only bonus prizes. Next slide, please. These are the different technology bonus prizes we have available, as well as the 2 bonus prizes from the Office of Technology Transitions. I'm not going to read all of these out to you in the interest of time, but I really encourage you to look at the rules document to see if the technology you're thinking of presenting can fit within any of these topic areas, because there's really something for everyone in this list. It covers a huge range of topics. Next slide, please. A little bit about eligibility. A team is composed of 2 or more enrolled students at accredited US-based collegiate institutions, whether those are 2-year, 4-year, or graduate institutions. Any level student is eligible as long as they are pursuing a degree and enrolled in at least one class. International students may participate, but the team captain must be a US citizen or permanent resident. And you can have non-student team members, but only students may present to judges. Following the close of registration on February 1st, teams will be assigned to a regional conveners explore event. And while business plans that have received funding are eligible to submit, business plans that have not previously received notable funding may receive preference. Next slide, please. So I talked a bit about the different bonus prizes that are available, but in general, you can really pick any topic you want as long as it's related to energy. Student submissions must focus on technologies that produce or store energy, improve the efficiency of energy consumption or energy transmission, or increase the security and reliability of energy systems. And again, several DOE technology offices are offering technology bonus prizes for the best student entry in that particular field. Next slide, please. Again, all energy technologies are welcome. Next slide, please. I do want to emphasize that this is not a startup competition. You do not need to own or have a license to the IP, and you do not have to have a business formed. You are judged on the quality of your business plan, not the strength of your resume or whether you can secure funding or anything like that. Again, IP ownership or license to the technology is not required. You can choose to focus on technology you or your team members have developed. You can focus on a technology that has been developed at your institution. You can focus on national lab developed technologies via the lab partnering service, which I'll talk more about in a second. And yeah, you can really focus on any emerging technology that is of interest to yourself or your team. Slide, please. More about the lab partnering service. This is a really awesome tool that lists nearly 2,000 different technologies that are available for license from DOE's national labs. About 100 different energy technologies have already been highlighted for consideration, but you are definitely not restricted to those 100 technologies. You can pick any one related to energy that you think is interesting. Please. I encourage you to go on our HeroX website and read the competition rules. They indicate the topics of interest, what you'll do in the competition, and how winners are determined. Next slide, please. These rules were released on September 27th. They're available on our HeroX page under the Resources tab, and they contain details on everything we've discussed in this webinar, and they're really your primary resource if you have questions on eligibility, the areas of interest, the prizes, what you will actually be submitting, and how we determine winners. Next slide, please. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to turn it back over to Joe to talk about the new faculty track.
Great. Thanks so much, Hannah. So very briefly, I would like to introduce our new and exciting faculty track that Edward mentioned earlier. If you'd like to learn more about this, we do encourage you to see a recording of the prior webinar, which we will add to this chat that focused more on this topic in more detail. At its highest level, this track encourages faculty to compete for a share of $100,000 in prizes focused on developing an implementation plan to engage or increase the number of students on energy technology commercialization and entrepreneurship topics. This means that we're looking for faculty who have, next slide please, that we have faculty who have ideas around this topic area. So this could be new lesson plans, new modules. This could be a new lecture series. It could be a new collaboration between the business school and the engineering department. It could be a new way to focus on a accelerator, incubator, or participating in this competition. So what we encourage you to do, if you are a faculty interested in competing, is to complete an interest registry form that takes just a few minutes so we can send you some additional information, and then consider submitting an interest in the Explore activity, which is due January 5th, so coming out pretty soon. That's primarily about your existing organization, your ideas, your interests, and your constraints, and we will award 10 faculty explorers $4,000 each, which we hope enable you to focus a bit of time on developing an implementation plan. Note that any faculty, though, are welcome to submit and develop an implementation plan and submit by April 5th, 2024. So it could be all 10 faculty explorers, as well as some additional faculty who either missed the January 5th deadline or who weren't selected. Anyone is welcome to submit that implementation plan, and we hope that the ideas you submit both help move you a bit forward with your institution and with your time to create the impact that you wish to see at your own organization, but we also hope to learn from what you submit and provide some type of playbook or some toolkit that could be published by the Department of Energy to help inform other faculty about ideas, about lessons learned, and experiences in this area. So look at what that faculty track looks like and consider reading the rules and submitting by January 5th for consideration for that Explore phase activity. As a reminder and a summary, up to 10 faculty who submit by January 5th will be identified as faculty explorers and receive $4,000 each, and any faculty, those 10 as well as anyone else, can submit an implementation plan by April 5th to be considered for the remaining $60,000 in prizes. Note that just like for the students, this is a prize awarded for work already done. We hope that you implement that implementation plan, but we're awarding the prize for the quality of the plan itself. So this is a forward-looking activity, and we look forward to providing funding that we hope can increase your likelihood of success in impacting hundreds or thousands of students in the years to come. With that, I'm excited to introduce Beth Zonis and Skylar from a regional convener's perspective of participating in the EnergyTech University Prize. Beth, I'll turn things over to you. Welcome and thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joe. And it is so exciting to be back here. We love EnergyTech UP. It's a great opportunity for so many people, students and faculty alike. And if it's okay for me to share my screen, is that doable? Can I do that? I think I can. Okay, so I'm going to show a few slides. And what I thought this would be is just a really quick flash through a few messages. I think pictures help. And then I'm going to turn it over to Skylar because he's the real person here. I run a program. Skylar's an actual entrepreneur who went through Clean Tech Open and EnergyTech UP. We met him through EnergyTech UP and let him tell his story. But we've been a convener of the EnergyTech UP for the last few years. Really exciting. Just want to make sure you all are aware that EnergyTech UP is a great first step before Clean Tech Open. I run the Northeast region, which actually spans from Eastern Canada south through Virginia, but it is a national program, so you can participate from anywhere. So when you think about what you are doing with your innovation, and if you want to commercialize it, you have to make connections with a lot of people. One of the things that we are very good at is helping you to connect with many people. Throughout Clean Tech Open, you will build your network. And I like to say that all of these entities are orbiting around you as a startup and the various people that we put in your inner circle with you. So what is it? Clean Tech Open is like a mini MBA. It includes training, lots of mentorship, access to capital with introductions to different types of investors, showcasing and prize competitions. And it's really fun. It's a large cohort. So nationally, we typically have 100 or so startups. In the Northeast. We have about half of that. So it's a lot of people that you end up interacting with, which is really helpful. What have we been doing? How do we tell our story? And what are the statistics that are worth sharing here? Since 2005, CleanTech Open has been running in the Northeast. These are Northeast numbers. So we know that our startups are employing over 4,400 people. We have 601 alumni with lots of patents. The big number that I think is the most impressive here is that 74% of our alumni are still active and or have been acquired. We had 2 of our alums just got acquired last month. Really exciting. We know of at least 21 acquisitions, which is pretty cool. We're focused on driving environmental equity, and one way to show that is by the diversity of our cohorts. We also help our startups to calculate their emissions reduction potential. And the last cohort is very optimistic that they're going to make a huge difference with close to 2 billion metric tons of CO2 avoided when they're at scale, or CO2 equivalent. They've generated a lot of revenue, lots of funding. And so I think it's a really great story and you could be part of it. So in terms of timing, we run once a year. Applications will open in early February. I'm including some Northeast events as well as the national. So the final application deadline is April 14th. And we start with mentor introductions, cohort selection and mentor introductions in May. And we will run our New York or East Academy in early June. The other one in the West will run probably right before that. We run lots of business clinics and webinars. Most of it is virtual, with the exception of the Academy at the beginning in either New York or California. And then the regional finals, which will be in Boston for the Northeast region. And then everybody goes to the Global Forum, which is in San Jose as part of Verge. Not to be missed. It's a massive event and highly recommend. So if you go to cleantechopen.org, you can learn more about us and keep an eye out for when the applications are available and make sure to apply. So I will stop sharing and I'm going to turn it over to Skylar, who went through the program, both programs last year, and has a great story to tell.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Beth. And thank you everybody for putting this whole program on. I just get so jazzed about all of this work. I literally studied sustainable technology commercialization because I think exactly all the work that both the people in this program and those in the audience are doing is what's going to change the world. So I'll just tell my story briefly, and hopefully it can be helpful in encouraging folks to take the plunge into these programs, whether they be EnergyTech UP or CleanTech Open or both. So I'm the CEO of Verde Technologies. We're a thin film flexible solar panel company. And our mission is to create the lowest cost clean energy we possibly can by both increasing the power output of solar panels while dramatically decreasing the cost of installation. And back in, I guess it was early 2022 now, I was studying at the University of Vermont and working with researchers there. And we had some IP around the manufacturing process of solar panels and some ideas about what it could look like to commercialize that technology, but really hadn't built a business around it. And one of the things that we did early on that I think has been really helpful is we signed up for programs to try to get feedback and exposure for our ideas and our technology. And one of the early ones that we did was EnergyTech UP. And I think the real value for us, to be honest, we didn't actually even do all that well in the EnergyTech UP competition, but what it did was get us a ton of exposure. And coming out of that, we learned about programs like the CleanTech Open, which we participated in, and we're lucky enough to win in 2022, the CleanTech Open Northeast. and other accelerator programs, such as the Blueprint program run by the Engine, which is one that I would highly recommend individuals look into as well. And then out of that, we started to learn more about what our customers actually wanted, what investors were going to want to see from this business, what a real economic value proposition looked like for our technology, who were the members of our team that were missing, that we maybe didn't know about. Like we started getting people applying pressure and asking questions to our company. And coming out of participating in this program and then the CleanTech Open, we were lucky enough to meet our manufacturing partners that have now helped us to scale our technology, or we're working with them now on scaling the technology. We were able to meet initial investors and close a small investment round after winning the CleanTech Open Northeast and others. We also developed a stronger relationship with the National Lab out of all of this and wound up actually licensing technology from the National Renewable Energy Lab to complement the technology that we had up at the university, and have now been lucky enough to win other non-dilutive and grant opportunities. So we won one of the American-made challenges that are administered by the National Renewable Energy Lab, and also more recently we're named one of the commercial partners on the DOE's new Solar Commercialization Center. And all of that exposure, like these things, it feels like sometimes you read headlines about startups that are having success, that are getting funding, that are winning grants, and you think like, oh, I wish I were that startup. But it doesn't happen out of thin air. It happens because you meet really smart people that care about and are passionate about your vision. You listen to the questions, you listen to their feedback, and when they make introductions, you follow up on those introductions. And I think programs like this, why they've been so helpful for us has been, yes, the content that they teach, but more importantly, they're an on-ramp to that ecosystem that Beth was mentioning, and to all the people that can really help you to take your ideas and actualize them and turn them into reality. So I wish you all the best of luck and can't encourage you enough to move forward with the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beth and Skylar. I really appreciate your perspectives and ideas. And I want to highlight that what Beth had to share about CleanTech Open Northeast is just one of our 15 different regional conveners. So if you look at all of the submissions and the slides that we had earlier, you can probably find a similar opportunity from many of those other conveners, as well as these national opportunities like Beth talked about. So we shared this as a snippet of what might be possible. We definitely can't have all 15 regional conveners share to that scale for all our different programs, but think about this as the inspiration of the possibilities of participating in this program. While, as Skylar mentioned, he may not have won EnergyTech University Prize, the impacts of participating continued to be fruitful as he moved on into other elements as well. So really, thank you both for joining us today, and we look forward to what you do next as well. Next slide. With that, I think I'll turn things over to Jackie for a few slides. I believe, Jackie, is this you? I'm doubting myself right now.
Joe, I think this is still you, although I could probably speak to it if you want.
In the next one. No, thanks so much, Jackie. So for everyone who participates in this program, recognizing that you should look at the lab partnering service for energy technologies with business potential. So if you're at a school that doesn't have a very deep IP portfolio, or if you just don't have interest in accessing that information, you're welcome to use the technologies that are available for license from the national labs. Additionally, for those who register, we will provide you to access to the Energy I-Core training materials, the Adoption Readiness Level Framework training, and other elements. And for those who advance in the program, we'll also connect you with mentorship, example presentations, cash prizes, and industry connections. We'll provide on this next slide these links that are clearly not clickable for you right now, but we will put them in the resources section of HeroX, as well as make sure that the recording as well as the slides from this presentation are actionable, but you can watch prior pitches from the 2023 national event, from the 2022 national event, some brief interviews with past winners, as well as from the regional Explore events if you're looking for ideas of participation. Recognize, though, that in this program, it's primarily about the business plan. So you might provide a brief introduction to the technology that you are considering, but you don't have to prove to the judges that your technology is the best possible technology in the world. They really want to say, assuming that technology does what you say it's going to do, Does this make sense as a business plan? How could this be commercialized? Do you understand the market? Do you understand the business plan? Do you understand the go-to-market strategy or these different elements? So look at some of those prior pitches, read the rules, and understand what participation looks like, but know that this is a low barrier of entry, and we look forward to seeing your submissions. With that, I think I do turn it over to Jackie to talk a little bit, very briefly, about how to promote or compete, and then we'll have probably about 5 to 7 minutes for questions.
Thanks, Joe. Very quickly, some next steps you can take to get involved. We've talked about it a couple times, but obviously we encourage you to follow EnergyTech Up on HeroX. I think Joe dropped a link in the chat, but we'll definitely make sure we do so again. Read the rules and determine how you want to participate. If you're planning on participating as a student, as a faculty competitor, or as a faculty advisor, the rules will help you narrow down how you would like to compete. We'll also share a link in the chat to some promo pack resources. This is language that you can use to share with students or peers to recruit others if you're interested in participating and want to build your team. After that, we would encourage you to explore energy technologies. Faculty, you need to submit a register entry by January 5th, and students have to submit an entry by February 1st. So those are both coming up very quickly. I mentioned some resources. This is just a sneak peek of what that looks like. We have a flyer, newsletter content, social posts, graphics, lots of content for you to share and recruit others to join you in the competition. Some ideas for securing support. If you're looking for others to get involved, ask your regional convener. Again, we'll share this list. It's also already posted on HeroX, but reach out to your regional convener for other opportunities or connections that they might have. You can also contact your own school's technology transfer office, business school, entrepreneurship center, anything like that. And we encourage you to discuss this opportunity with other students at your school who might be in the same or different majors. Lastly, we invite you to join us. Again, faculty need to submit by January 5th to be considered for a Faculty Explorer Prize. And by April 5th for national prizes, students need to submit by February 1st to be invited to the regional Explore events in February. And with that, I think we're going to open things up for some questions. So, Joe, I am just going to dive right into the Q&A. Starting with a question, can pitches be delivered as pre-recorded videos? I'm assuming that's for the regional events first.
For the regional event, we do require that they are live because we have Q&A sessions with judges who take time out of their day to present. We do ask for you to have at least one student team member available to present live. But this is about a 4-hour event. If you do have some conflict within that 4-hour period, you're welcome to work with us and your regional convener to make sure that you have time to present. So we're happy to coordinate with you, but it is expected to be live.
Great. If we identify multiple complementary technologies, could we pitch them together as one submission?
Absolutely. We'd love to see those unique combinations of different IP, and you could be eligible for multiple bonus prizes as well. So you could be a team that wins first place overall and wins the Water Power Technology bonus prize and wins the National Lab IP bonus prize. It's probably not likely that you win all of them, but if you have more than one technology highlighted, you could be eligible for more than one of the prizes as well. So yes, you're welcome to combine those in unique ways.
Great. Next question asks, can a student team include members from different universities?
Absolutely. We absolutely welcome multiple teams from a single institution. So if you're a faculty teaching a course, you could have 5 teams of 3 students each present as part of that regional event, and maybe 1 or 2 of them advance. That's great. But also, if you're a student who has friends at other institutions or a particular technology expertise that you're looking to leverage, we can absolutely support a team made up of multiple institutions. We just need to know who the team captain is as we think about those regional events. But yes, we can have multiple teams from a single institution, and we can have multiple institutions associated with a single team.
And I guess a similar question, can students participate on multiple teams in their initial entry?
That is a good question. Yes, but you can't be a captain associated with more than one entry. So you'll see that in the the rules and how the HeroX platform works, I think you can be associated with more than one entry, but you can't be a captain on more than one.
Great. We had a question that asks, or rather says, I'm a grad student with an F1 visa status. Would that mean I can't participate, especially if I want to be solo or have other students with similar visa status? And maybe that's a good opportunity to also talk about requirements for teammates.
Yeah, so great point. So for eligibility for the student track, a minimum team size is 2. And the team captain has to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. The team captain is who we would pay any eventual prize money to, and that's a requirement. Additional team members can have any visa status or participation that you'd like. It is the responsibility of the team captain to determine how prize money might be distributed, any taxes might be relevant, and whether or not you're able to receive that money depending on your visa status. So the team captain does have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident.
Great. One more question. As a research scientist at a university, should I apply for a student program or a faculty program? It sounds like this individual is a 3-person team with 1 graduate student and 1 professor.
Great question. So in your case, I think you'd have to be part of a team with your partners, and one of them would probably have to be the team captain. So if you wanted to participate in the faculty track focusing on an implementation plan for new curriculum or educational topics, the faculty would likely to be the one who has to submit that entry, and you'll work with them to divide any eventual prize money as well as you decide as a team. And then for the student structure, that student team member would be the one presenting live to the judges, but you could be part of that team. So just look at the rules for the eligibility criteria. You're likely to able to participate, but you wouldn't be the team captain from that research scientist staff person point of view. I also see a question here that I'm just going to roll through because it's 59 minutes after the hour. Can a student other than the team captain make live presentations? Absolutely. So we can accept anyone who is an active student pursuing a degree presenting to those judges, and then how the prizes are distributed is based on who is the team captain, and then you negotiate with your team what happens or what the split might be associated with any eventual prize money you may receive. With that, I think this looks like we've answered all of the questions in the Q&A box. I do see some questions in the chat. We'll try to answer those in writing or follow up with an email later. I'll close out by thanking everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate your interest. In total, we're closing on almost 1,000 people who have joined these webinars, and look forward to sharing more information throughout December and January as we approach the deadline of February 1st for students and January 5th for those faculty interested in the Faculty Explorer Awards. Reach out to us at ott.energytechup@nrel.gov with any questions, and do promote this program to others at your institution. You're welcome to compete yourself, but we also support you spreading the word to others via distribution lists, Slack channels, emails, LinkedIn posts, or anything else you might want to do. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your participation today and look forward to the entries that you submit.